you scurvy parrot.
What would you do if you walked into a small chain restaurant to see this chaos? You might think, wow, the chicken at this Yaya's must be amazing. But then, why does everyone have pom-poms and cowbells? And what is this news crew doing here? Well, they are all here to see the conclusion to Mid-Michigan's Biggest Loser competition. Most people are here to root for the red team, consisting of Melissa and Cheryl, a niece and her aunt, who have lost over 55 pounds over the course of 3 months. But this story revolves around the biggest loser of them all. This woman, Melissa Hecht.
I'm a loser. I'm a loser. And I'm not.
Melissa grew up as a girl with a minor weight problem. Nothing more than what most children grow up with today.
I have been overweight my whole life. I've always been bigger than everybody else. I've always been the biggest kid in the class. I've always been the slowest. I've always been overweight.
In her teenage years, she became even more unhealthy, and by her mid-20s, she realized there was a problem.
The heaviest weight that I was 326 pounds. It freaks me out to think about it.
So Melissa tried out for the Biggest Loser. Little did she know the impact it would have on her life.
That day completely changed my life. I have never, ever been in a room with that many people. Overweight, sad, depressed, pathetic, really. And I realized that day I needed to make a change. Whether I got on the show or not, something needed to change in my life because these people, about 3/4 of them were a lot older than I was. I did not want to end up there.
She didn't make it onto the show, so she took matters into her own hands.
To start losing weight, I started out very slow. I simply come home from work every day and walk around the block in my neighborhood. And then the weight started dropping off, really 5 to 6 pounds a week to start out. It was very exciting. It was very rewarding. And after I started losing some weight, I started to increase the distance that I would walk. And then I started becoming a little more conscious of the food I was eating. And it was just a very slow process, little by little by little. Like I said, I had been overweight my whole life. I did not know what I was doing. Obviously, I didn't know how to lose weight. So I was just kind of guessing and seeing what worked.
Melissa started to write a blog, telling her weight loss story to her friends.
It started out with like 10 readers, and it grew to 20 readers, and then I had over 100 readers, and all of a sudden my blog had been read like almost 8,000 times. So the local popularity of it just skyrocketed through the roof, and a friend of a friend worked at the local TV station and said, hey, you need to apply to be on our contest, the Mid-Michigan Biggest Loser. So I applied, and we got interviewed and made it through all the cuts, and me and my Aunt Cheryl were picked.
During the contest, she pushed her body to the limit and her team to the finals. So here we are, where we left off, back in Flint and just in time for the announcement.
I don't even know how I stood up. I mean, my knees were like shaking together ferociously. I don't even know how I was standing.
And the winner of the 2008 Mid-Michigan Biggest Loser contest is the Red Team!
And when they announced that we won, all I remember really is just everything exploding out of my body. I was just extremely excited. All the hard work and the sweat and tears, it's all worth it. It's all worth it.
But the story just doesn't end in the restaurant in Flint. Melissa plans on continuing her story of weight loss.
I ended the contest at 230. I not so much have a weight goal as a size goal. I would like to be a size 8. The biggest size that I was a 28, which for an average person is like a tent that you could camp in. But I would like to be a size 8, which I think is going to be about 150 pounds, right in there. And I looked up in my medical records. Last time I weighed 150 pounds. I was in 4th grade.
So Melissa's goal is to be the weight of this girl. A little girl who back then never thought she would be proud of being called a loser.